Well, we are back for the penultimate episode of Ahsoka with episode 7. The worst episode yet. I can't think of an episode so far that is as bad as this episode, as meaningless. That there's nothing here. Yet again, we've wasted an entire series on nothing. On absolutely nothing. On what seems like, oh, we're setting up Dave Filoni's movie. Because we smartly decided to give a movie to a buffoon. That's the decision they made. So that's why we've had a series of fuck all. It's because, oh, well, we've got it leading into this movie that nobody's going to see or care about because Star Wars is currently dead. So that's why we have nothing. But in the previous episode, we, of course, left off landing on the planet that had Ezra, and you had Sabine stumble across him on a planet because Ezra was just on Thrawn's doorstep. Thrawn never found him for some reason because Thrawn isn't intelligent, unfortunately, because we don't have intelligent writers. He's another buffoon who somehow needed, well, his big plan was, I'm going to let Sabine go. I'm going to give her all of her weapons, making her stronger. Then I'm going to send these two mercenaries out to get her. And then I'm going to say, oh, I don't care if Sabine and that die or not, because we're going to leave them here, just like we're going to leave the Dark Jedis there as well. That was his big plan. Didn't make any fucking sense. But again, it seemed like, oh, well, no, we've got to make it seem like he is intelligent by doing stuff that's like, well, there was no point in that, was there? And that's essentially what we have with Thrawn throughout this episode. Barely in it, and he's a complete idiot. A complete idiot to the scale of saying, oh, this was a success, when you lost. So there's nothing intelligent about him. So that's kind of where we were in the previous episode, was our introduction to Thrawn. I don't imagine many fans of Thrawn would be too pleased about that. Because he is an idiot and wrongly cast. But that's where we were. So now we start off episode 7 with the most useless part of the episode. There's no reason for it. In terms of the character of Hera, she doesn't matter. You've done nothing with her. I don't care about her little sentence hearing. Don't give a fuck about it, because she's not going to face any consequences anyway. And again, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know what this is supposed to serve. There's no reason for, oh, well, now we've got to go to a courtroom. We're going to spend 6 minutes on that. It's like, what? You haven't done nothing with this character, so why? Why spend this amount of time on it? Oh, I know why. That's so we can jangle some more keys. That's the reason why. So we have Hera in the court meeting about her disobeying orders that she done, because apparently she's a general, so she can do anything. She doesn't have any higher-ups that give her orders. She can just disobey them. She's a general. So that is why she's here. She was just baffled on why there was consequences. Why would I get court-martialed and then get away with it anyway? So she's in here, she's getting into an argument with the senator that doesn't like her very much. The senator says, you know, we can't just have this general running about disobeying orders. And Hera replies, I wasn't disobeying your order. I was ignoring your orders. Right, he's on the council. And the orders of the council was to fucking stay put. That's what the orders were. So you saying I was ignoring that doesn't mean anything. You were ignoring all of their orders. So I don't know what response that was. But then again, it's written by Dave Filoni with the brain of an 8-year-old. So that is why. So yeah, this just, again, goes on way too long. It's like, it doesn't serve any purpose. Get rid of it. Just get rid of Hera altogether. She served no purpose in the entire show. But she's just there. So So basically she's like, well, I protected the New Republic by ignoring your order. No, you got your co-workers killed, and you had no remorse over that. You didn't care. We didn't even get an emotional response out of you, because like every other actress in this show, they have no, they can't emote for some reason. Whether they're told not to, I don't know. It seems that way. So she got a load of people killed, but she was protecting people. She got them killed because she's a fucking fool. And how she became a general in the first place, I don't know. So then he then goes on to say, you know, all this stuff sounds like fairy tales. You know, Jedi, well, Jedi's are real. You literally had Ahsoka on your home one ship, who is Jedi. So I don't know why that's a fairy tale. He then goes into false Jedis, star maps and distant galaxies and star whales. I know it sounds like a load of bollocks, doesn't it? That's because it is. So he's just like, there is no single piece of proof that there is any coordinated effort to overthrow the New Republic. There's no, the scattered Imperial remnants are nowhere to be found, even though we have all these examples, like the first episode where two people with lightsabers came onto a ship. They escape with Morgan Elsbeth, who is Empire affiliated. And then we had later in another episode down at Morgan Elsbeth's old facility where there was people that still supported the Empire that ran the place. And you're like, there's no coordinated... There clearly is. I don't know what this guy's problem is, but he's just like, oh no, none of this exists, even though we have multiple instances of it. So we then have our friend that is the connective tissue of the connected universe. This guy, he jumps up and says, what about the situation on Mandalore? Don't remind me of season 3 of Mandalorian, because it was fucking awful. So he just says, what about Gideon? The senator says, that he was just one guy. There was no larger conspiracy. Right, well, there clearly was. He had loads and loads of stormtroopers, you know, whatever. So the guys just, I don't know, again, the New Republic are just really backwards. That's the problem with them. You know, I don't know if that's the intention or it's just the abysmal writing. I'm willing to bet it's the abysmal writing. So she's just like, if Thrawn returns, it's the end of. And then what do you know? Jangle them keys. We've got C-3PO, who comes in saying, I've been sent here by Leia Organa. Fucking hell. Get a grip, Dave. Just get a grip with your childish fucking shit. Look at C... Do you remember C-3PO? That's the only reason he's here. So the idiots fucking clap. So he comes in, he's like, I've been sent here by Leia Organa, and she apparently sanctioned this mission, even though Mon Mothma knows that didn't fucking happen, but she lets them away with it anyway. Because everyone just gets away with stuff. There's never any consequences to the actions that these characters take. There's never a single consequence. It's just like, nah, you get away scot-free. You know, what is that sending to other generals? They can do what the fuck they want as well. You know, I don't know what kind of ship you're trying to run here. Everyone just there's no consequences to any actions, and you're expecting people to care. So C-3PO's like, oh, do you remember me from A New Hope? You know, he says that. He says, I'm here by Leia. Leia says, oh, she sanctioned this. It's all fine. Let it go. So it's Leia hasn't told her brother about the situation with Thrawn either. I don't know why nobody's telling Luke Skywalker. That's very strange, that is. Because it seems like, you know, Luke Skywalker's active at this point. Why would he not want to stop the return of the Empire? I don't know what... nobody's telling him. I don't know why. So we've done a bit of off-screen damage to Leia, because why not? So she gets away with it. The matter's settled. C-3PO says, oh, do you remember me again? And that's it. You then get Mon Mothma. She comes up. Why did you let Dave Filoni get a hold of Mon Mothma? I don't know. Because she's definitely not the Mon Mothma of an intelligent show like Andor. That's not the Mon Mothma we have here. So she's just like, oh, is there any truth to this? You know, personal feelings aside. And fucking what's her face says, yeah, this is all real, this stuff. Okay, so we're back on the space whales. We've got some more jangly fucking keys, because why not? Anakin Skywalker, what he done was, he made a load of fitness videos that would help train Ahsoka. And there's, honestly, what we've gotten from Hayden Christensen, or just Anakin Skywalker in general, in this show, does not resemble Anakin Skywalker. There's nothing there about him where I'm like, yeah, that's Anakin Skywalker from the prequels. There's just nothing there. So he's just like, in this war, you will face more than droids. I don't give a fuck, Hayden. I know you need a job, but I just don't care. So he's there just to, again, member Anakin. That's again, so it's there for. That's the only reason. So she's just training. Who the fuck cares about this? Again, just wasting as much time as possible. We're already 9 minutes in. We have not achieved anything. We wasted 6 minutes on a court hearing that nobody gives a fuck about. And now we've got Ahsoka. Oh, I'm just training with recorded videos from Anakin. Why you must have watched them already. I don't know why you'd need to train. It's not like these recordings have Anakin saying, you know, see what you want to do with this lightsaber is when a person comes in like no, he's just walking about saying, oh, in this war you might not just fight droids, you might fight Count Dooku. We're doing a load of name dropping as well. So that's all it is. So it's like, what's the purpose of these videos? If you're not actually, she's training with lightsabers. So I would expect these videos, these recordings, would have something to do with lightsaber fights. But no, it's just him walking around, just saying things. That's it. So Ha-Yung says, oh, we're getting close to dropping out of hyperspace because the whales, based on my calculations, have started slowing down. So they know they know that they're about to come out. So then we get a stupid conversation where Ahsoka doesn't seem to grasp anything. You know, it's very similar to the first scene we had with these two in episode 1, where he said something and she just completely glosses over it. So he's just like, you know, even if we, let me just see where it was. Yeah, so she's like, you know, when we drop out of hyperspace, we'll find Sabine. And he's like, well, we don't have any star charts or anything like that. You know, we've got no way of really finding her. And she's just like, oh, yeah, but if we find the enemy, we find Sabine. Yeah, but you don't know where the fucking enemy is as well. So you're still stuck in the same position. You have not countered what he just said by saying that. You still don't have star charts. So then he's like, and like this only matters, you know, assuming we're like the space whales drop us off in the right galaxy, in the right star system, at the right planet. Which in the previous episode, Ahsoka said, it's better than going nowhere. She wasn't actually certain that the space whales would take them where they needed to go. So for all she knew, they would take them 15 galaxies away, not to the galaxy they wanted to go. And at that point, it's like, oh, you're fucked. You know, I don't know what you're gonna do now. You're stuck 15 galaxies away. You're never coming home. So that's what she was just, it was based on nothing. It's just like, better than going nowhere, even though I've got somewhere to be. So she's still fucking retarded, because why not? So, yeah, that's what happens next. So then, as they drop out of hyperspace, they then start getting bombarded by a load of explosives. So Ahsoka, being the brainlet that she is, she goes, oh, let's get out of this mouth, even though the star whales are blocking us from these explosives. Let's go outside where the explosives are. So, Ha-Yung seems to have the smarts like, what do you mean, get out of here? We can use this as cover. But Ahsoka's like, nah, we got to go out of here. We got to go where the explosives are, where we have no cover. Smart plan. That is a smart plan. So they come out, and I just, again, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. So if I can just find the right frame. So basically, they've set a trap. If we can get a good... Can we get a good look at it? So, as you can see, there's all these explosives explosives I don't know where Thrawn got all these materials. Like, to the point that, it basically shelters the entire planet. Like, the entire planet from where they come from. Which, again, how you knew from what way they would come, I don't know. So, they come down here. So, look at all these. Right, how the fuck... Where did you get all these resources? I don't know. I don't know how we got them. But whatever. So they get towards the ring. They're like, oh, we of course found the exact planet we needed to be. Because that's how Dave Filoni writes. Things just happen. So she then goes, I'm going to go in the debris field. Because she's now got ships chasing her. The ships go, oh, we're going to chase you down, even though we're the bad guys, so we're going to obviously crash. It's like, I don't understand this idea. If someone you're chasing goes into a debris field, there is no point in following them. You may as well sit back and just wait for them to destroy themselves. I don't know what your reasoning is to oh, we're going to go in this debris field as well. It's like, no, why? Just let Ahsoka go in. And let the debris fucking hit the shit out of her ship. That's all. You don't need to chase her. That is just an unnecessary risk. And knowing how Star Wars does it, you're obviously going to crash. That's what's going to happen. So do not chase her into the debris field. You've got no reason to do so. Why don't you go around and go underneath and wait for her to come out the other side or something like that? But no, they got to go, oh, we can do this too. It's like, no, you can't. We know she's going to be fine because she has plot armor. We know you're not, based on the track record of Disney Star Wars. So just a complete waste of time. So they go in, of course, the bad guy follows them in, crashes. We then get off another look at Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's a fucking retard. Like everybody else in this show. So he's told by fucking edgy stormtrooper with a golden face that looks really shit that, oh, our fighters have engaged the target and pursued them into the debris field. So then Thrawn's like, right, well, withdraw them. And then Morgan can't seem to understand why he would withdraw them. She's like, oh, yeah, but let them follow. No, but their ships will blow up. And even if their ships don't blow up, as we get in this episode, when they shoot at Ahsoka's ship, every shot misses. So it's more annoying than anything else. So Thrawn's like, bring them back. We don't want to waste resources, like all those explosives we put out there. Millions and millions of explosives. We don't want to waste materials. So Morgan's like, oh, we should let them follow. Again, Morgan, do you not understand that chasing someone into a debris field is pointless? You are just risking yourself for no reason at all. When realistically, the person you're chasing should really crash into a load of stuff. But no. So, yeah, she's just like, let him follow. He's like, nah, fuck off, Morgan, you dumb bitch. Oh, no, wait, that was me. So that's all we get out of that scene, I believe. We've got more stupidity from Thrawn to come. He's just, I think, is he in this scene? Right, no, I don't think he's been given it. Yeah, so he's also given Ahsoka's records, and he finds out, oh, this was General Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. So he's found that out. I don't really know why you need this information, to be honest. It's not really a necessity. So yeah, she's just, so he's like, oh yeah, so she'll just be like her master, unpredictable and dangerous. I don't think we've seen any of that from Ahsoka. There's nothing unpredictable. She's very predictable. She's very stupid. She isn't dangerous, only to herself and others around her. So I don't really get the impression from that. So they're still continuing flying through there. Hyung's like, what the fuck did you do this for? She's like, oh, it'll be fine. We've got plot armor. I spoke to the writer myself. Gave us a bit of plot armor. So he's just like, so what, they decide to just sit in the debris field, as you do, because things don't move about and could possibly crush you. And he's like, right, I'll run a scan to see if I can locate Lady Wren. How exactly, how are you doing that? I don't know how you're scanning a planet for a person. I don't know how you have the ability to do that. So that's when we come back down to the planet with the fucking turtles with big rocks on their backs. And they've got clothes on, somehow. Which, if they've got rocks stuck to their back, I don't quite know how you get clothes on. And they've got little cars as well, somehow, on this desolate planet. I don't know what they made it out of. You know, it would be good to see if there was a former civilization here. Then you could go, oh yeah, where they got the metals from, you know, these wreckages. But no, they've just got cars. Somehow they found a way. So they're going along. You've got Sabine is catching Ezra up on what's went on, you know, about the Empire being defeated. And when asked, oh, how did you find me, by the way? You didn't answer me the other time, because I think you're a piece of shit. You didn't answer me the other time. So how did you find me? She's like, it's complicated. She still hasn't told him. Oh, by the way, you know that time you sacrificed yourself? Well, I undid that. I undid that. And now Thrawn is about to go back to the galaxy and attempt to destroy it. She's still leaving that out. Even by the end of the episode, he still doesn't know about this. Even with Ahsoka showing up, even Ahsoka doesn't tell him this. Ahsoka seems to be quite happy with Sabine. When it's like, no, she fucked you over. You should be giving her a good scolding. But she's just like, nah, it's all fine. So she still hasn't told him that, because of course not. She's not a very good person. So yeah, even other questions that he asks, he's just like, it's complicated. And then we get Balin and Shin on wargs that are watching them. So I think they notice this and decide to turn, or maybe that's later. We then get the Cringe sisters. They come in and he's like, oh, can you find me Ahsoka with your black magic? Can you find her? Coordinates in the debris field, because debris doesn't move about or anything like that. So by the time you give the coordinates to the people that are going to chuck bombs there, it's not really going to make that much difference, because things move in space. That's what happens. That's what you don't have any gravity, so things move about. So they do this weird triangle shit, and then they're like, right, we got her. We know where she is. So Hyung is like, right, I can't find Sabine, because I don't know how you were scanning a planet for a person. I don't know, unless she has a chip in her head, which I don't believe she does. So Ahsoka is like, oh, I know of another way that I've never seen anyone fucking doing Star Wars before. Where Ahsoka goes, right, there's another way to find her. And then we find out that Ahsoka is also a telepath. She sends her force to Sabine. That's definitely new. I don't think I've seen that before. I can't recall anything. So they're still going along. And she hears Ahsoka's voice and she says, Ahsoka. And she's like, oh, I had a feeling. So they pinpointed Ahsoka now, and that's when they start dropping bombs. So we get another chase. Again, what was the point in this if nothing even striked? How did none of it hit? She didn't even know it was happening. So she's all fine. I can't remember it. Does Thrawn say anything here? I'm just trying to remember here. Yeah, he's just like, oh, you know, we haven't got to worry about Ahsoka now, because I know where she's going. She's going to Sabine. She's not coming for us, because we wisely sent Sabine far away. No, you didn't. You sent her to your doorstep. She was gone. She probably travelled about 30 minutes away. So she's not very far away. And you also gave her equipment. So for you to say wisely, there's nothing wise about that. So he's not worried about Ahsoka for the minute, even though he sends his troopers off to fight them. So that's when our turtle people notice the wargs on the hill. So they're like, oh shit, we're turning, because these vehicles are definitely faster than those. So that's when, again, we still haven't gotten anything out of Baylan. Just, oh, Ray Stevenson tries. That's still all we've gotten. We've still got mystery bollocks. It's like, can we just know who he is at this point? We've only got one episode left. I mean, we already know what's going to happen. Shin's going to kill him. That's obvious. It's going to happen. There's already signs of that happening. So that's definitely going to happen. So he says to her, right, you know, I want you to go and kill these people. I'm going to go over here somewhere. So she's like, oh, but you won't help. And he's like, oh, your ambition drives you over there and mine puts me on another path. And then he just leaves her with advice saying, impatience to victory, like, guarantees defeat. That's all he says. That was basically nothing. I don't know what advice that was. So she calls it in. She's like, oh, I've found Ezra Bridger. So Thrawn is going to... Well, they're going to send them off first to chase them. We've got to get a chase. So Thrawn is told about this. Let me see. Does he actually say anything? Not really. He's just like, all right, we'll send these units to their location. Even though we could just leave and they die here. They've got no other way to get out of here. The space whales are gone. They fucked off because we threw explosives at them. So they've got no way of leaving. But we seem to have this idea that, oh no, what's happening is the thing's not done yet. We're not done yet because we weren't prepared for the arrival of Morgan, even though I was told by the witches she was coming. So we've got to load whatever. I don't even know what he's loading onto his ship, onto his Star Destroyer. I don't know what exactly he's loading, but it's just, oh well, we can't leave yet because we need to give Ahsoka an opportunity to stop us. That's why we haven't left. Fuck. So a few drop ships go out. We've got Sabine shooting, load of shooting going on. Of course, none of the shots hit anywhere important. So this goes on for a bit. It's just a fucking shitty chase. They eventually stop because one of the turtle people's their thing gets stopped. So they're like, oh shit, we've got to turn around. And they just sit there. We also have Ahsoka coming in on a ship. You know, again, all these ships shooting her, all of it misses. So all it's really doing is having really irritating noises. It's not hitting anything, so I don't know why you're even bothering. I guess you didn't also realise they had plot armor. So she's going round about. Baylan's just sitting there and waiting. You know, I can't wait for what's to come. So we've still got Ahsoka there. Ahsoka's like, right, I'm gonna jump out. So you may want to see this, because it is a load of horse shit. From what I understand, Ahsoka doesn't have superpowers. She's not superpowered. So I don't know in what way, going at this high speed, that you would think, right, I'm gonna jump out the ship. And I'm not doing it with a parachute. So what she does is, yeah. So that's the height that she comes out. We can just find it again. So that's where she comes from. There's a load of rocks everywhere. So we just go through this a bit. She comes down. Look how fast she came down. Fine. We used some shitty CGI and she was perfectly safe. What a load of bollocks. That's broken legs. And what do you know? Exactly where she lands. Balin's there just waiting for her. What a load of bollocks. That was such bollocks. No broken legs, and I land exactly where I need to for a lightsaber fight. On a planet. On a planet, I might add. So they're gonna fight. Who the fuck cares? So then they're also gonna fight the what's her face? Yeah, they're gonna fight these fucking Sam people wannabes. Sabine's like, here, take your lightsaber. He's like, no, I don't need a lightsaber. The Force is my ally. Take the fucking lightsaber. She's not good at it anyway. I don't know why. Oh no, she's got guns, you dickhead. She can use the guns. You use the lightsaber. Don't go, I'm going to jump around like ninja with the Force. Dipshit. She don't even use it straight away. So it's like, why did you not just take that? She's got other weapons that she's better at using. So it's like, why give her a lightsaber also? But of course, he doesn't have to worry about anything else because the guys with guns decide to fight him in toe-to-toe combat. Instead of, I don't know, use their guns. You know, they could just use their guns. The fight's over. They don't have to worry about the Force. They can just shoot the shit out of him. But no, all the ones that run at him either don't have guns or don't use their guns. He just jumps about using the Force. We keep cutting back to them fighting. Who the fuck cares? So he's still using the Force on there. None of the people are using their weapons. And then Shin comes in and misses him by an inch, cuts off a bit of his hair. And then he starts fighting her with his hand. He starts fighting her with his hands. What are you doing? Why is she not winning? Why is she not instantly winning? She has a lightsaber. You have your hands. I don't know in what way you're winning here. So that's what goes on. Eventually, Sabine comes in. Let me see whereabouts we are. So they're just like, you know, we're going to fight, all that sort of fucking business. Ahsoka then says, he says, oh, you can't defeat me. And then she says, I don't have to. And then Hyun comes in and shoots him a bit. None of them hit him anyway, but... So all she does is, right, I've escaped. So, of course, what we then have happen is Balin looks about for 10 minutes. You know, what we must see in a show is a character just looking in the air. You know, we need to see that, even though we know nothing about them, so we don't even know what they're thinking. There's nothing there. Right, what could he possibly be thinking about? I don't, you know, maybe he needs a shit. Maybe that's what's on his mind. But we don't need to watch a character just stare about for what felt like ages. Fucking, honestly, any excuse to waste time. You have not made good use of the time you've been given, Dave. You've wasted money. Which I guess I can only laugh at. So then the edgy stormtroopers come down with their red and all that. You've got Thrawn looking on, being a bit of a simpleton. So this fight goes on for a while. Again, fucking hell. Do you not remember last time, Shin? Do you not remember that this bitch doesn't have the Force? Do you not remember that you don't need to engage in a lightsaber fight because you can just Force choke them and then it's over. Then you can relax. But no. We've got to spend time on a lightsaber fight. So then the stormtroopers show up and Shin's like, right, kill them. But then the stormtroopers stop because the person they've been told to kill says, wait, no, just shoot them. You were just ordered to kill them. But of course, we got to give it a second. So then Ahsoka, somehow, on a planet, it just comes across them. Not very far away from them. She comes flying in on Balin's Borg. And nobody instantly just starts shooting. They don't just go, oh, fuck, right, let's shoot. And all the characters are dead. They're just like, nah, we're going to stand for a bit first. What we're going to do, we're going to let Shin and Ahsoka look at each other first. And then we'll start shooting. Rather than just go, all right, Ahsoka comes in, bang, you're dead. No, we got to have incompetent troopers again. So another fight continues going on. You know, again, all these Star Wars shows, aside from Andor, just the action is so shit. Just the action does not make any sense. Nobody is doing anything sensical. They're just like, oh, I'm not going to stand in cover. Just going to stand out here so you can shoot me. Incompetent stormtroopers again. Let me see whereabouts we are. So, yeah, we get other stupidity, like Sabine. What Sabine does, she has stormtroopers shooting at her, if we can actually find it. Right, we're not at that bit yet. Let me see where it was. Because it's incredibly stupid. If I can just see it, is it this bit here? So, right, you get someone shoots. Oh, she stops a bullet with her wrist. Okay, that's how that works. You know, again, I don't know why the stormtroopers are even wasting their time shooting at her, because they always aim at the armor, even though, look at all these weak points. You've got that whole area there. You've got her head. You've got her legs, all of her legs, all that area to shoot. And you go, I'm going to shoot her in the fucking armor. That'll show her. Every time with fucking Mandalorians, people just shoot at their armors or punch their armor. It's like, what are you doing? Aim at the weaknesses. But no, that would then kill our characters, and we can't have that now, can we? Even though, based on logic, that's what would happen. So Thrawn's like, these are unfortunate but acceptable losses. He's like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, one might even call the first match with Tano a success. You fucking lost. You lost. You're clearly coping. That's what you're clearly doing. So you've lost. You've lost a load of your guys. There's nothing about a success here. When do you know what would bring you success? You know that big fucking Star Destroyer you've got? What you gotta do is, you gotta fly it over and fucking drop bombs on them. You're fighting against turtle people. That is who your fights against. I don't know how this is difficult for you. A bunch of turtle people with rocks on their back are embarrassing you. How is that possible? I don't know. Again, Thrawn has been so hyped up throughout this series. He's a fucking idiot. He is an idiot. Oh, this is such a fucking terrible episode. So then Shin's there. The stormtroopers get called back, so they run off. And then Ahsoka's like, I can help you, Shin. Why would you want to help her? Oh, whatever. So, again, it's just obvious. Oh, yes, Shin's going to kill Balin. That's what's going to happen. She's going to stab him in the back or something like that. So Shin runs off. She's like, nah, I'm all right. I don't want your help. She definitely thought about it, though. And then she rides off, and then they have at least Ahsoka has a better reunion with Ezra than Sabine did. At least there's an instant hug rather than, oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. I haven't seen you in 5 minutes. So she's all smiling. She hasn't said to Sabine, you stupid fucking cow, you have doomed us all. None of that. She's just like, it's all hunky-dory. She then hugs Ezra, doesn't tell Ezra about what Sabine done about undoing his sacrifice and now dooming the galaxy. Hasn't told him about that. Nah, they're just like, they're laughing and all that. It's like, do you grasp the situation at hand? You have an idiotic maniac that is planning to escape, go back to the galaxy and cause chaos. And you're like, it's all fun and giggles. Fucking hell. Honestly, do characters ever realise the situations they're in? But they say nothing about, yeah, by the way, Sabine's the reason that Thrawn's going to escape. I've not told him anything. And I don't think they're gonna. Again, Sabine is going to face no consequences. Just like Green Karen faced no consequences. It's just like, no, it doesn't matter, does it? I can just do things. There's no consequence to it anyway, so it is whatever. So they all smile at each other. It's like, yeah, you've got a maniac trying to escape and leave the galaxy. Maybe this isn't the time for that. You know, maybe Hung goes, shit, right, we got to stop Thrawn. You know, that's what I would expect. But no, it's like every other situation like this we've seen throughout the series is that there's no concern. They don't seem to understand the situations they find themselves in. So there's nothing remotely, and there's nothing to them whatsoever. Cardboard cutout people. And that is the end of the episode. The worst episode so far. I'd have to go back and rewatch episodes to really find out if that is the case. But that was a fucking bad episode. There's a reason why we've been here a lot longer than usual. But that's episode 7. What a terrible series it has been. Nothing of redeeming quality or value about it. Nothing praiseworthy. Just utter sludge. That is what we've gotten through now 7 episodes in. There's no story. Because it's all just, now we've got to have some situation to set up for a movie. So what happens in this show is really of no consequence. Because it's all just leading into the next show or the Dave Filoni film that probably won't happen anyway. Because there is no interest. There's barely any interest for Star Wars in general. So, you know, making a movie is a waste of time. You can't even get a series right. You can't even get a series right. Except Andor, but that was because of Tony Gilroy. That wasn't because of anyone else. That's because someone was actually good at their job. Whereas Dave Filoni isn't that. Just isn't that, doesn't have the ability to write a TV series. You know, I don't know how he got on with his animated show. From what I've seen about, he barely written any, so, you know, I don't understand why this guy is held up as some type of god or genius, to the point of, people saying Dave Filoni should run Star Wars. Yeah, run it into the ground, just like Kathy did. So, just an abysmal series, a waste of time. There's nothing to it. There's nothing of value to get from it. There's nothing to learn from it, because it is just incompetence through and through. That is what we're dealing with Star Wars at this point. It is just dead. It's so dead because they will not just get talent in the door. Instead, we've got to go, get Dave Filoni. He's a genius. Even though we've seen work from him, he's not a genius. There's nothing genius about him. It's just an adult with the mind of an 8-year-old. It's just like, oh, I know what they're like if C-3PO shows up and name drops Leia. Or if Hayden Christensen has recordings and Ahsoka plays them that don't relate to her actual fucking training. That's how his mind works. There's nothing of intellect there. So that is why we have a series like this. And again, you don't really. Some people don't really give them anything to make them want to change, make them want to try. When you just, you know, lap it up. It's like, what's the point in actually working hard? What's the point? Again, they've got no reason to change their current direction, so we're going to continue to get absolute sludge like this. We're just never going to see a change, but, you know, that's episode 7 of Ahsoka, I guess. That is episode 7. We're nearly done. We've only got 1 episode to go.